All right. Good evening, Demonfield Comics and More New Jersey here. I got another interview for you this evening. If you haven't been here before, we go ahead and wait just a little bit. I'm going to wait like a minute or two here to go ahead and see if we can get a few more people in here. If you are in here and you can see me and hear me, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you will start sharing this out, I would certainly appreciate that. Like I said, we'll give it about another minute and then I will go into my sponsors, my intro, and then we will get this ball rolling. Definitely looking forward to this tonight. Going to have some fun with this. It's sort of an interview slash hype video. We'll go ahead and put it that way. It's a lot of fun. We'll put it that way. Raj, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. Hope everyone's had a great day, been incredibly productive. I know, surprisingly, I was incredibly productive today. I tried to get a lot of other things done and then sat down at the computer and got even more productive on here. So it's a pretty good day. All right. All right, let me go ahead and pull the banner off of this real quick so we can go ahead and get started on this. All right. Demonfield Comics and More New Jersey here. And I have got another interview for you tonight. It's an interview slash hype video, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. First off, I want to go ahead and thank our sponsors because we do have sponsors on this show, which is really cool. So the first one I want to go ahead and thank on this is Sub-Zero Mission. As everyone knows, this is a huge one on my list because this is one that actually saves lives. So if you don't know enough about this or you want to know more, look on my page, find out more information on there. If you need more information, contact me directly. I will be more than happy to give you all the information you need on this. Totally Rad Comics is our next one that we're going to go ahead and thank on that. Then we've got Third Empire. Raj is already in here, so I'm going to go ahead and say Third Empire has got a Kickstarter that'll be coming out on June 2nd. It's called Mojo Rising. You need to get ready. Get your mojo on. So that's Third Empire. We got Codex Entertainment, which also is sponsoring us with Lily 4 going to be coming out to Kickstarter very soon, actually. And then our final sponsor, which actually ties directly into my guest tonight, which is phenomenal, 183 Degree Studios is our sponsor as well, which I am more than happy about that. If you don't know who 183 Degree Studios is, well, you're going to notice that as soon as I bring my guest out here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring her out. This is the one, the only, Cara Nicole. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So I want to let you all know that you guys have a very, very unique opportunity today because I have just been banned.
All right. Congratulations.
I'm in Facebook jail. And you know what? I'm like, screw you, Facebook jail. I'm going to go on Phil's page.
That's the way to stick it to the man right there.
Damn right.
Now, for those of you out there who don't know who she is and all, Cara, if you'll go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, and where to find you.
Well, today I'm a terrible, terrible mess because I had to take my dog to the vet. My poor baby got very, very sick. And I have been working so hard because I am currently fulfilling my smash hit Kickstarter for Fire Bitch. Where'd my Fire Bitch book go? And if you didn't get in on that, well, then you should have, because I've got my comic, Fire Bitch, and I am the co-writer, co-creator, and colorist for this book. And I'm currently fulfilling this. I've got 684 backers to send stuff to. So I'm super excited about that. But yesterday was my birthday, and I launched my brand new book, Confessions of a Cosplay Diva.
Absolutely.
So this is a pinup / confessional. Now I have 3 other books in a trilogy, and they're the AZ Power Girls Cara Nicole photo book. And that's more of a, like, look, here's a bunch of pictures and here's some little stories about them. And this one's more like, this is what it's really like to be on the road doing Comic-Cons in multiple cities all over the country, sometimes even all over the world. This is what it's really like when you're spending hours and hours making a costume and it doesn't come together. This is what it's really like, the way that people treat you and what people think about you. So I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to really know what's going on here, because there's a lot of misconceptions. And I just want to set the record straight.
And that's the best way to do it, is just go ahead and put it straight out there so everyone can go ahead and have all the information and make their own decisions, based off of that.
Well, it's scary though, because you build up this fan base and you build up these people that watch you and get excited about you, and then they're like, you did what? It's like, yeah, because you know what? I'm not fucking perfect. Nobody is. We're still people. And that's very important to me, that everyone stop glamorizing celebrities. I mean, celebrities are great, and I'm not saying I'm that much a celebrity. I'm like a baby celebrity, like a little celebrity. I'm like I'm an up and comer, I'd like to say. See, everything I say sounds bad. See what a bitch Carrie is. She's so conceited. So, it's funny because with cosplay, people say, well, you're not really the character and you're just taking someone else's idea. Well, you know what? Ben Affleck did not write Batman either. And Ben Affleck didn't even make that costume. And neither did Michael Keaton. And neither did George Clooney. But you love them and you think they're great. And what do? They're a guy that put on a costume and acted out someone else's idea. And that is cosplay. Actors are just really expensive cosplayers who don't make their own shit.
That pretty much does sum it up, yes. And some of them are just worse at not acting.
I am not mad about that. I'm thinking that's great, but I want to give some credit out there to everybody. Like, who's really great? The writers. The guy that wrote Batman, which has been multiple people through the years. Alfred, you are not Batman, you're Alfred. So, we want to like bring fandom together. Does that make sense? Like,
absolutely,
the writer and the colorist and the artist and the cosplayer, that's so important to me. And I do tons of cosplay based on especially independent creators, because there's more stories out there than what's on TV, and there's more stories out there than what's the movies. Mm-hmm. There's our stories and your stories, and I'm a huge believer in ideas. Like, I don't care what you believe, I care why you believe it. Does that make sense? So absolutely. I want everyone to have the opportunity to put their stories out there and show that this is about us. This is about all of us as a community.
Absolutely. I completely agree in that. And we've talked on several times about that very subject, and you putting out this book is actually kind of putting yourself out there a little bit more than normal. And like you said, it's kind of a way that they can look at you going, wait a minute, we have this perfect thing about, you live a perfect life, you live in a perfect home, you have a perfect chicken. And, how could anything possibly go wrong?
That chicken is not perfect.
Now, Alfred tells me he's perfect, so I know that can't be incorrect, right?
He's perfect. He really is. There's always the reacher and the, what is it? What you know what I'm talking about, right? You got the reacher and the settler, and Alfred's the settler and I'm the reacher. Like, people think, oh, she's this, that, and the other, and it's like, no. He's like the guy. Like, he's the guy. And I'm like the notice me, senpai.
Now, let's go ahead and start. Let's go directly into confessions, because we've already started talking about it a little bit. First off, over $15,000, and you just hit the 24-hour mark just a little while ago. How do you feel about that?
Well, I would say I'm going to Disneyland, but it's closed. No, it's amazing. And I think this is more than just, this isn't about me. This is about cosplay. And one of the big proponents of this campaign is I support cosplay. And there's so much that goes along with that. There have been cosplayers who have been killed because they have been carrying prop weapons. There have been cosplayers that have been harassed sexually. And there have been cosplayers who have just been downright teased. Mm-hmm. And cosplay's amazing. Like, if you don't love Halloween, this does not apply to you. But if you're a person that just gets excited about Halloween and dressing up and showing off, like, look, I'm Wonder Woman, or you know who I really, really love? I love JoJo's, what is it? JoJo's something circus or bizarre adventure. I shouldn't have picked that one. I should have picked something else. But you want to be Wonder Woman, you want to be Supergirl, you want to be, notice I'm going DC, just saying. You want to be Wolverine, you get that opportunity. Well, now you can do it all the time. There is less candy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very sad about that. But you know what? Go to the store and buy your own.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I used to,
crazy.
I mean, I used to cosplay for the longest time as Deadpool. So every time I got to wear the maid's outfit, I was just happy. I mean, wait a minute, that's cosplay. It's the maid's outfit that goes with Deadpool. Trust me.
See, isn't it fun? And you know what's great? When you go out there and you cosplay, the kids, they don't see that you might have had this breakout and you have this zit on your nose. They don't see that you have that roll of fat that your bra like stuck into. They don't see that, you know, maybe you have a chip in your tooth or that your hair is not exactly the right color. They see the characters they love. They see Deadpool. They see Harley Quinn. They see the Joker and Batman, and they get so excited. And, you know, one of my favorite stories is about a man who goes by Goofy Kaka Cosplay. I'm not even kidding. Look him up. Goofy Kaka Cosplay. And he does a lot of gender swaps. Like instead of doing Poison Ivy, he did Poison Oak. And it was like this whole camo gear, military ghillie suit kind of Poison Ivy as a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he did Rogue as a man, and he shaves his head, and he did a white stripe in his beard, and he had pants. And anyway, he did what he called Western Wonder. And Western Wonder was a male Wonder Woman as a cowboy. And he had this great lasso. And you know what? He was all grumpy about it. And I'm like, shut up, Chuck. You're not grumpy. Because he pretends to be grumpy. But then some little kid, oh, Mommy, it's a cowboy. And you can see he's like trying not to smile. It's like, you love it. You love it. Like these kids come up to you and they want these pictures and they want to hug. And they just melt, and we all do. And it's not even just about them, because they take you back to your childhood. So you're not only their superhero, you're your own superhero.
Exactly. Absolutely. And that does bring up the next question on here is there is a difference between costuming and cosplay. So if you can kind of explain that difference, I mean, I know what it is because I do cosplay as well, you know, whenever I, go to the cons and whatnot, but, and cannot wait to go back to them again. So can you go ahead and explain for those that are watching that may not know, what is the difference between costuming and cosplay?
I have no idea.
With your cosplay, because you actually get into character.
Yes, you get to play. And that's the big word, play. Now, the thing is people say, you're a cosplayer. Do I look like I'm playing? No, costuming is meticulous. It's about the craftsmanship, and craftsmanship is great. But you do not have to craft to be a cosplayer. People say, oh, you didn't make that. So what? You know what? You didn't make a lot of things. You just grew it there. So, you didn't make that big old zit on your forehead. Oh, wait, yeah, you did. Quit complaining. Leave people alone. Cosplaying is about having fun. And craftsmanship sometimes can be a part of that. And if you want to create something and build it from scratch, great. I am not a cos snob. When it comes to that, you do not have to shear the sheep and loom the wool. You do not have to, build your own shoes. Make the little elves do it. That's their job. You can buy pieces of costumes and put things together. You can do what's called a closet cosplay. You're like, well, I don't have a lot of money or I don't have a lot of time. Go in your closet. What do you have? Get some paint out, man. Put that X-Men symbol on that shirt. Put on a pair of sunglasses and now you're Cyclops.
Exactly. You just have to, it's wherever your heart is in it. Just go ahead and pour that passion directly into what you're wanting to cosplay and it comes out.
Exactly. It's about the enjoyment of the characters. And there's some people that take it way too seriously, and those people are funny.
Yes, very much. I've seen some that are so intense into it that it's like you walk past them and they get upset because you didn't quote unquote notice them. And it's like, hey, great job and everything, but they want you to like bow down and kiss their feet and all that kind of stuff. And, hey, great job and all, but I'm not going to just, worship you just because you came up here in cosplay.
See, I want you to come and kiss my feet because I'm kind of freaky like that. It's completely different.
Now,
So
I did have the basic questions on here. How long have you been in cosplay? How many cosplays have you done? But we're not even going to go into all that because you love hearing that so much. So I'm actually going to flip.
why?
I'm
It's
actually going to.
so boring. You can
That's why
look it
I'm going
up
to turn these around.
online.
I'm going to turn these
Yeah.
around now. We're actually going to
What?
ask your opinions on some cosplays that you have seen, not that you've done. Oh. So,
Okay.
what is your favorite con experience in cosplay that you have seen?
Bender made out of a water heater.
Really?
I adore cosplays that are thought outside of the box and ones that are kind of intentionally bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because it shows that you really, one, thought outside the box, two, got really creative with the things that you have, and three, it's really friggin' funny.
That is very true. That would be very different seeing because that would be as close to the actual bender as you could have there.
That's right. And someone had to think about that. And someone had to go to the trouble to get a water heater, cut this bitch open, and wear it.
And Shannon is in here as well. Russell, thank you for being here. Shannon said now Kara is going to get weird requests from people wanting to kiss her feet.
Gonna get. Happening it. Get between the toes.
Now, what is the best advice that you have given as a cosplayer?
That I've given, I would say, when you're building armor, build some thick skin because people are mean.
Very true. Very true. I mean, you've got to be able to just kind of knock it off the shoulder and say, okay, you had your hit on there or whatever, but I'm good. I'm still going to be the way I am, do the best I can on this and move forward.
That's right.
Now, what's the best advice that you have had given to you?
The best advice that I've had given to me. Be patient and just keep going. And that was actually given to me by Mike DeBalfo.
Really?
Yes, an artist. Because I had asked years ago, it's like, how do you get to be on comic book covers and how do you get hired by artists? And he's like, you just keep on working at it and be patient. And I'm like, you're a dick because I don't want to be patient. But you know what? He was right. You can't just be patient and wait though. You gotta keep working.
Exactly. And Russell, I will agree on this one for certain. Use long-lasting deodorant.
That's right.
Most definitely. So if you're thinking about getting into cosplay, get some deodorant first, then start working on that cosplay. That's a have to in that, please. You'll help everybody on that one. Either that or the social distancing won't have to worry about.
Cosplaying. Look, you can see by the quotes, Jim has already started cosplaying George Takei. It says, oh my. See? He's already cosplaying right here.
See, everybody's getting into it now. Now, you mentioned about patience, so I know everybody's kind of getting impatient over there a little bit because they want to see the covers that are available for confessions.
Okay, so I already showed you the Jeweled Wonder. This is Wonder Woman. It was shot. I did make this costume, and I shot this at Amazing Arizona Comic Con, which is related to the Amazing Oahu or Amazing whatever in Hawaii and Las Vegas. And this has been jeweled by master jeweler Shannon Galarna with Swarovski crystals, and it is on holofoil stock. So you can see how shiny it is, and it's got all the crystals, and it's absolutely lovely. And I love that one so much. We also have, this is called Painted Lady. And see, this is really cool. Wait, how do I do this? Yeah, there we go. See? Ah, it's me. We got to go out a little more.
There you go.
There we go. And
There it is.
this one is a photograph that has been painted over. So it's part photo, part painting. And this is the main cover. And we currently have a special early bird special for this cover. So you get a discount if you order this one right meow. Right meow. This one is called Rebel Scum. And this is my Slave Leia cosplay. And I did not want to ever do a Slave Leia cosplay. And then someone went online yakking saying that you should not do it. And, you know, no one should cosplay Slave Leia because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, don't tell me what to do. This one is called Seductive, and this is my Power Girl lingerie. It's very soft and sweet, not like me. See, cosplay, pretending to be something I'm not. You know, all this energy is great because it reduces the amount of cardio I have to do when I go to the gym. This one is called Twice Shy. And this is a spot foil Vampirella. So it is foil in certain areas. So not everywhere, just some spots. And you can see I've got the skulls. And I actually was on a cover of Vampirella #2, Vengeance of Vampirella, through Dynamite Comics. It was not this image. It was a different image, but I was an actual Vampirella cover model. Now this one is called Cat's Meow. I wonder why. This is my black cat. And this is a full holofoil. See, shiny. Because when cats see something shiny, they want to attack. Now, this one is called Monochrome. I wonder why. And this is my domino, and I shot this out of the Mogollon Rim in the dead of winter, and dead of winter here's like really nothing. But it was very snowy and very beautiful, and I got to execute a snowman. Do you want to kill a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. So and I love this costume because I took everything from other costumes. This was even my Superboy wig that I cut and styled. Every piece of this, except for the corset, actually, yeah, including the corset, every piece of this was taken from other costumes. So I love being able to use what I have and create new things. We also have this one. And it's called The Great Outdoors. And it is, if you look real close, this is linen. So it's almost like a canvas, like a canvas painting. And this is my own character, Polly Gunn. And it is about a cowgirl who fights demons. And that was my first comic book that I put out in 2012 with my friend Coop Bolton. So we did that book together, and this is a piece that I did like for that. Not for it, but I did it later. And I would like to bring that book back. So let me see, do I have anything else? Oh, yes, I do. I sure do. Oh, yes, it's this one. This one is currently my bestseller. And this is called Burning for You, because this is my Fire Bitch cover. So remember we talked about Fire Bitch? My comic Fire Bitch? So this is the Fire Bitch character. And this is a super secret cover. So this closes like this and opens like this. And please excuse, they get a little scratchy when I use them up like this. And what this does is it protects it because you're all dirty and I know what you're going to do with it. So now you have a protective coating. I'm terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. So yes, I will put the tape on it if you request it, but I'll probably forget, so don't bother. And I also have a Velma cover, and we're thinking about doing an art cover. I also have tons and tons of stretch goals, and I always add more every time. My last Kickstarter has about 20 stretch goals. And I'm like, do I have a stretch goal pack? Yes, I do. So you can see my last Kickstarter has so many things. I'm always adding new stuff.
Absolutely. And that is one thing on this one The final stretch goal that you have listed so far, if you hit the highest amount that's listed on there, you actually add the 4 pages, which you said something about that's whenever Alfred actually gets to talk about what it's like to be married to a
So we
cosplayer.
actually, I think we're going to put part of that in there anyway. I haven't quite exactly decided, but I would like to have, Alfred does a panel, and it's called So I Married a Cosplayer. And it's about the behind the scenes side, what it's really like. I mean, there's a lot of things people don't think about when you have, you know, people hitting on your wife all the time, when you become the tampon dispenser and the purse holder. And the thing is he is an artist in his own right. It's actually very funny. We'll go to conventions and there's times where people will be like, so how do you decide which one of your models you're going to have each day? Because they don't know it's all me. And they think that he's the artist drawing the models and he's got this corral of women. And, you know, and they think that I'm just another name on a plate. And then you've got other times where they're like, can your assistant please take a photo of us? And it's like, he's an artist. So because we're together, because, you know, my stuff's there. So a lot of times people don't really understand we're two separate entities, but we work together and help each other out. And it's very interesting to see both sides of that.
Absolutely. And that would be very cool to actually be able to read in the book as well, to go ahead and see, basically you're seeing behind the curtain is what you're allowing to happen with all this, is that curtain that's on there, that magic curtain, you're actually like, okay, look behind here and see what actually happens behind here. And you've
And
made
let me
comments
tell you,
before.
it is not the wizard.
Exactly. Plus you've made comments before. I think I had asked one time in one of your videos that you had about what it's like to be, you know, with a cosplayer like that. And you said lots of sewing, you know, stuff to your pants or to your, you know, shirt to your pants or something like this or whatever material, and then stuff catching fire.
Yeah, so people always like, I want to watch you make a costume. You want to watch me sew my costume to my pants or my dress and yell and swear a lot. It's like making, what's it like making a costume? Well, there's yelling and swearing and fire and costume.
And it's great though, because the finished product of the costume, you would never think anything about it because I don't see any blood stains on anything.
It's called a Tide pen.
Ah, see, behind the
And
curtain.
most of the time I just go through the pants or my dress. I don't go through my skin. I haven't done that. I have not run my fingers through a sewing machine yet. Thank God. I'm terrified of doing that. And I know people have done it. And when you do get that needle through your finger, it always goes through the fingernail. And you have to actually remove the needle from the machine. So now you got this needle going all the way through your finger that you got to like pull out. And it's not easy. And I don't want to do that.
No. There's no need to get into all that. No.
So Russell says, Alfred constantly hears, can you zip me, babe? Yes, that's true. Because all of these years I think, hey, I need to tie a string to my suit. And I never do.
That's all right. I didn't to my Deadpool costumes either. So that was always a lot of fun. I just learned how to be very contortionist-like to go ahead and get that.
I just want to say, when it comes to male cosplays, there are two things. One, if you are wearing spandex, wear a dance belt or a jock strap. Otherwise, you run the risk of becoming a sex offender. Two, no zipper wieners. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So there's these little, for those of you who don't know, a lot of times men think, hey, I'm going to get the zipper down there so that I can whip it out and pee. But then you have this teeny tiny little zipper and it just kind of dangles there. And it doesn't matter if, you know, you're hung like, you know, hung like a horse, because if the women see that teeny tiny little zipper wiener, they're going to remember that and they're going to think of you.
Very, very true.
It's very true.
The Sorry About Cara ticker is getting a lot of work tonight. I've been putting that on every time we need that to go up there.
I appreciate that. That's actually, I want to get some of those made for my comedy show as well.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. Mine is on the way. I cannot wait to get that thing in.
Yes, it is being printed as we speak. It is in California
Now, since we're
because
talking,
that's where my printer is for those.
oh yeah, absolutely. Now, since we're talking about cosplay and everything, there is one that has gotten most of my attention, and you already know this because we have a game that is coming up whenever that game comes out, which is the Lady Death Last Stand. So let me go ahead and put this up here just in case there's anybody out here. You're not going to catch me. I got my coin.
That's going.
Oh, they're waiting. They're waiting to catch me. Trust me. Uh,
Yes, they are.
not going to happen. So you did the cosplay for Ash Matsko for the Last Stand game. How did that come about that you actually got to do that for the game?
Well, we met Ash and Ashley. The Ashes and I have met numerous times over the years from show to show to show. And we were all in Springfield together, and then C2E2 was coming up, and they were like, we should have a cosplayer, and we should have a cosplayer do Lady Death. And they're all like, Cara, because they know me. And I think that that's huge when you know somebody and you know how they interact with the fans and you see how they behave at a convention, it makes a huge difference. So they knew that they had seen me at numerous conventions, that I'm professional, and that I'm at my booth, and that I put out good quality products. So they wanted to bring that into their realm. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that. And I had a lot of fun with that. And I actually went straight from Hawaii to Chicago. And when you only have 2 bags, you're like, I don't have room for a coat. And I'm from Arizona. I don't even own a coat. So somebody bring me a coat. And they did.
Yeah, because that would be a serious difference in the temperature, especially for that time of
Yes,
year and everything too.
that's right.
Now,
So Russell wants to know when you get the pantsless pizza cosplay.
okay, I'm gonna say right now, I am not doing the one that Russell's been promoting on Facebook with my picture and everything on there. That's not the one that I'll be doing. If I do something else, well, let's say I have some other things in the works, working on some projects. So there will be a reveal on that at some point. And yes,
What
reveal. I
I
use
don't
that word.
understand, though, I have a question about this. Because every time I get pizza, they don't come with pants. Is this a New Jersey thing that New Jersey pizzas wear pants?
Apparently, it's a little different up here. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm not actually from Jersey, so I can't be blamed per se on this one. I'm actually from
Well, do
Texas, so
Texas pizzas wear pants?
I can neither confirm nor deny said statement.
See? I figured they all came with little tiny cowboy hats. Do you want pineapple on your pizza? No, I prefer cowboy hats.
And that ticker is going to stay up here now. We're just leaving the sorry about Cara. Just keep going, rolling on crazy. We're good. Now, some questions about cosplay, because I've been putting some things together on here, because aside from asking how long you've been in it and what your favorite is that you've done, because we've gone through that, plus get the book and you'll find out all this information. So definitely get on that Kickstarter, get the book. Uh, aside from that, do you stay at your booth the entire time that you're there? Do you kind of meander and walk around a little bit with the people, or how do you do that?
So I pretty much stay at my booth unless I have a panel or I really, really gotta pee. If it's a slow time, I will try to take the opportunity to go around, but I really don't get that opportunity anymore. I'm kind of locked in. I remember one time I was in Rhode Island and I went to walk around because it was slow. And I'm like, it's slow. I'm going to take a minute. And right over there, right over yonder, that's a word you should know, Bill. Right over yonder. Kara's an asshole. We know this. So
Oh,
right
you're
over
speaking my
yonder,
language. You're great.
that's right, was Robert Franzese. Now, for those of you who don't know him, he is the real life Peter Griffin, and he
Mm-hmm.
is my cosplay love. Everyone's got their cosplayer, their cosplay crush, and he is mine. And I'm like, ah! And I had never met him, and I wanted to, and I didn't get a chance to because I got a phone call that someone was at my booth, and I'm like, no. And they didn't even buy anything that was cosplay related. They just bought a random art piece. And I'm like, I didn't care. Just sell it to them. I missed my opportunity to meet my cosplay love. And sorry, Alfred, not sorry. And a few years later, we actually did connect, and I spoke to him online, and he sent me a print, and I geeked out so bad, and I got really nervous that I didn't message him, and I was supposed to be like, thanks so much for the print, I really appreciate it, I'm your biggest fan, but instead I was like, and I did nothing, and I said nothing, and then when he messaged me, because we were friends on Pokemon, I was like, I was supposed to message you, but I really think you're great, and I love you so much, and I totally like nerd girled. So I don't remember what the original question was.
No, I was just asking if you're able to get up and get away from the table at times or stay there.
So there you go. That's the answer. Yeah, no, I don't.
And
then if I do have to pee, then that's when, like, it's got to be really bad. And here's the thing. The closer you are to the toilet, the more you have to pee. We know this. And when you're stuck in spandex and you're like, and you're walking to the back, can I get a picture? Sure, that's great. Can I get a picture? Uh-huh. Can I get a picture? No. I gotta be so bad, I'm gonna die. And that's what it's like.
Yep. Yep. Now, I know that the everything's changed in the cons as far as with the weapon policy because of situation that happened actually there in your state. And it was a very unfortunate and the way that it's happened and everything. And if you don't know anything about it, I won't go into detail tonight about this. You can definitely find out, look it up. But they really have cracked down on your weapons that you bring in. And there are so many parameters and everything on there. Have you seen a decrease in people coming in the cons that you were doing after that? Or was it still pretty much the same and they just kind of adapted?
It was the same. When there was a decrease, it had really nothing to do with that because the people that are coming in, they're going to come in anyway. And there's going to be a few people that are going to mumble grumble, you know, but for the most part, no. I mean, just think about it. It just keeps your hands free so that you can buy more stuff. So yeah, people worked around it. There was a few issues. There was a convention where some of the Stars guys, you know, from Raccoon City and those guys, they would put sights on bananas.
Yeah.
And security would come and give them hell. And it's like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
So Deadpools have replaced their grenades with rubber duckies. It's very cute. I have stopped wearing certain costumes because of the weapons policy, and I'm still trying to figure out how to best do that. But please recognize that this is not the conventions. The conventions are not saying, you can't bring your costume. It's actually the security that is hired by the convention center, and they're the ones that are causing this to happen. And it's funny because for those of you who don't know the story, someone tried to bring in real weapons to kill the Green Power Ranger. Now, he made it into the building through an unsecured side door. Whose fault was that? Security. When conventions were running their own security, we did not have these problems. They brought in police, they used cosplayers, they used people who knew what these products were. And honestly, that's something I've been saying for years, that if you are a convention owner, use cosplayers to train your security. Mm-hmm. We know our stuff. We know what things are. We know how you can take things apart, what can be hidden where. That was the big deal with the lightsabers. They were afraid that you would open it up and put a weapon in there. So utilize your cosplayers because we know what our shit is, and you know, use that to keep everyone safe. But Absolutely. The security for the convention centers is actually the problem. Absolutely. And unfortunately, that.
So, and I think we just lost her. We'll wait for her to come right back. I promise I didn't kick her. That was not me. Either that or the convention people found out that she was talking about him and they said, nope, no more. And went ahead and knocked her off. Waiting for her to come back in. Russell, just whenever I think you don't have any more that you can come up with that's cheeky to talk about, then you just go ahead and one up me up one more time on that. That's good. Oh, here she is.
Yeah,
All right.
it's I'm like, where did my thing go to plug you in? Give me 1 second.
Go right ahead.
I can hear you. So
Oh,
please
absolutely.
feel free to ask any questions while you're
Okay. So the next thing I wanted to ask, since we went through that, is what has been the one con that you've been to that has had the most energy?
the most energy.
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know. The most energy. That's a very good question.
I told you I don't ask the basic ones.
You don't. That's a good one because I think Planet
Uh-oh. I think she's locked up again. Oh, wait.
I plugged you in now. Planet Comic Con has tons of energy. But also, I'm going to say Smallville Comic Con in Hutchinson, Kansas. And it was so cute. It started out as this like little itty bitty con, and the owners are cosplayers, and they really just wanted to bring their fandom to their city, and they did. And people were nervous because in a place like Hutchinson, Kansas, people don't go into a convention is like going to Disneyland. It's like 4 or 5 hour drive. It's very far and it's very expensive and time consuming. And when you don't know what a convention is, you don't think that you're going to go to Kansas City for a bigger convention. So when something happens in your small town, you're going to get really excited about it. But then, your vendors are so used to doing this that they just get kind of used to being there. They fall into their routine like we all do. And I'm watching and I'm looking around and people are nervous. They don't know what's going on and they've never been to something like this before. And this was the very first year. And the DeLorean was right next to our booth, me and Alfred's booth. And I'm like, they were playing old 50s music at the DeLorean. And so I hit up Alfred. I'm like, come on. And I drag him out there and we start dancing in front of this DeLorean. And people were dancing all weekend in front of that car. And it just changed the entire dynamic. And it was so wonderful that now people, like, they love this convention. It's a part of their community and a part of their home, and it's something unique. And they've gotten very excited about it. Now they start going to other conventions in other areas. So they've learned what it means to go to Comic-Con.
Absolutely. I mean, that sounds like a ton of fun because you go to some of these and it's it's cookie cutter. I mean, you go in there and you know exactly, you go down this aisle, you go down this aisle, you make sure you get all the aisles in there, you hit every base on there, you talk to everybody that you want to, and then you walk out the door. It's done. The experience is that quick. It's okay, but you expect a little bit, can I have a little bit more? Can I get a little bit? You always want that experience, and cosplayers have that innate ability to go ahead and give that experience to whoever comes in there.
Yes, exactly. And that's one of the things that's great about cosplayers because you become a part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to go and hang out more and go be around other places. And there's some cosplayers that go to conventions to make money. There's some cosplayers that go to conventions to meet celebrities and hang out in the green room. There's some cosplayers that go just because they love to dress up and they love taking pictures with people. And there's some cosplayers that do tons of amazing charity work. Like there's groups that build like wheelchair vehicles for children. Yes. It's amazing what people do. Cosplay is more than just dressing up. There's so much involved and there's so many options. There's people that cosplay without actually dressing up that make costumes and craft them and create. And there's people that make parts of costumes. Hell, Yaya Han, that's what she primarily did for years, was she made ears and wings so that people that maybe came to a convention without a costume could just buy a few things and have one. And there's so much with cosplay that it really does make a convention bigger and better to have all of that. It's wonderful to see steampunk Batman. Jason, he's a wonderful guy.
Jason is,
For those of
yes.
you who know him, amazing person and just a beautiful, lovely soul. And you know, the iBots, the Iron Brothers of Topeka.
Hmm.
My God, amazing. You know, and their dad, Agent Stan. So there's a joke between me and Agent Stan and Agent Stan's wife, Barb. She's amazing. That he's my boyfriend. So that's our little joke, and he's just so wonderful, and he looks like Stan Lee, and I just really enjoy getting to like see everybody and be a part of this world that's incredible. And I'm so fortunate and so blessed that this has now become my life. And I get to write books about it. And I get to go to conventions and I get to meet everybody. And it just means the world to me that I get to be a part of your lives, that you guys have all welcomed me into your world as well. Because when you're a nerd girl and you get your head shoved in the toilet, you get shoved in the boys' bathroom, and you get your glasses broken before you grow up and get LASIK, and you go through that, you feel like you don't belong. But everybody belongs at Comic-Con.
Exactly. Exactly. And that kind of brings up my next thing that I want to bring up. And it's going to change the tempo a little bit, but it goes along with your book, which I have not read yet. So there's no sneak peeks on this one. Uh,
I haven't read it either because according to this one, it's it's just a mock-up. I'm kidding.
so, and it's a kind of a serious subject too, is the bullying that happens within the cons and everything, especially with cosplayers. And you kind of touched on that a little bit at the beginning. What is one situation that you have witnessed as somebody being bullied, and how was it rectified?
Wow. I don't even know how to answer that question. Um, at a Comic-Con, I really don't know. I don't really have these problems as much. I will say there was one show where someone grabbed me and I grabbed him by the ear and I dropped his ass on the floor. I just
Cosplay is not consent.
Cosplay's not consent, but I'm tired of this shit. I don't have time for this.
Yep.
I'm there's and I don't want to victim blame, but I find that a lot of times people want to be nice or they don't want to get in trouble, and I just don't care anymore. You know, I mean, the thing is, if someone is trying to hurt you, if someone is harassing you, what's the point of being nice? They already don't like you. So
Yeah.
fuck them.
So, first time I ever went to a con and I dressed up as Deadpool. And it was a generic costume because at the time I hadn't, really gotten into the whole cosplay thing, but I was, working the part and everything. I am a little bit larger guy. I mean, I'm not huge, whatever, but I'm not Deadpool small either. So, wearing the thing is a little bit different. And as I was walking in, there were some around college age kids, whatever. And there was like four or five of them. They were all in plain clothes, and they walked past me as I was walking in, and they made some very derogatory comments to me. And I kind of turned my head and kind of looked at them. I didn't say anything. I didn't get involved in anything like that, but I was just kind of like, wow, that really sucked. I mean, they dug in deep. That's my first experience walking into a con. I kid you not. Other cosplayers were in line, either getting their tickets or weapons check or whatever. They overheard. They went and had them pulled over to the side and told them, said, look, you're the only outsiders here that we see right now, so you need to watch it.
Yes,
Yep.
right on. Now, it's interesting because as professional cosplay is becoming more and more prominent, I'm honestly seeing a lot of bullying against people who are autistic or spectrum. And I see a lot of girls that are getting like, oh, did you see what this guy said to me? And I've had some nasty things said, and it's like, look, this is inappropriate. This is not cool. Don't do this. But guys, people that are nice and have good intentions, but maybe they are not neurologically typical and they don't respond the same way that your average person would. And you can a lot of times see a pattern in what they have to say, and I will see cosplayers get very snobby, or I'll see fans make fun of them. If anyone's getting shit on here, it is the spectrum kids, it's the spectrum people, it's autistic people. And that's something that I will say something, and I have, especially online, when I see a girl, did you see what this guy said to me? Look, here's his messages. And I look at it and I see the pattern, and I'm like, hey, you know what? This person is not being a creep. This person is autistic. And their intention is good. They're not being creepy. They're not saying, I want to watch you masturbate, because I've gotten that one. And, you know, they just have a certain pattern to the way that they speak. They're not being creepy. Their intention is not bad. But when I see cosplayers shit on their fans, that really pisses me off.
Yep.
You know, I mean, if I call you a nerd, you're my brother. You know, you're my family. Like, we're nerds together. But when people, especially, you know, there are some girls out there that are incredibly gorgeous and attractive that will make accusations and call down people who are not considered to be typical.
Right.
And, you know, online, no one's going to reach through your computer and grab your cooter. So try to think about that. Learn a little bit about your community. There was one girl who a guy had wanted a picture, and he asked if he could put his arm around her waist, and she said yes. And she was like, oh God, he touched me. It's like, you're practically fucking naked, you know, which no shame, but he took a picture with you. Yeah. You know, like, don't shit on the people that support you. Like, that's huge for me. The people that love you and support you and back you. I know I've seen guys who have been completely shit on, right? And it's just because they're men. And it's like, that's the same guy that would take a bullet for you. That's the guy that would back you up and kick someone's ass to protect you. And you're going to shit on them. Mm-hmm. And not cool, because they're what? Not the way that you want a man to look or whatever. I'm not saying you have to date him or sleep with him, but, you know, be respectful of people on all sides, whether you're a cosplayer, whether you're a geek or a nerd or whatever. Try to put yourself in the other person's position, but don't accept being mistreated. So exactly. Try to be a little more thoughtful. Don't, you know, I'm not saying let someone be mean to you or rude to you, but don't be a bully yourself.
Exactly.
You know, especially exactly. just because you're a hottie doesn't mean you get to be a snotty.
Exactly. I try to remember that on a regular basis, but you know. So now to go ahead and go back to a different line here is you're at your table, different events and everything. What is your most memorable fan experience of someone actually coming up and interacting with you?
Okay, so I've got a couple, and one is very short, one's a little bit longer, but these are awesome. So I used to have this little alpaca, and he was this big, and his name was Jorge, and he was pink, and I loved him very, very much. And I took him to every con with me, and I had him on my table all the time. And there was a girl, and she was dressed in like a Lolita, and she had a bigger version of this same little alpaca, and we had an alpaca race. So she rode her bigger alpaca, and I rode my little tiny alpaca, and it was just the cutest thing, and I loved it. But there was also someone who had followed me online and met me in El Paso, and they're deaf. And we talked the best that we could. And then the next year he brings his girlfriend, who is also deaf, to meet me. And then the next year she's pregnant, and his wife. And then the next year they brought their baby and his father. So they finally brought someone that I could speak to. And it was like, I just love this family. You know, and that goes for all of you. I love meeting you and getting to know you and knowing your kids and watching them grow up. Do you know, it's wonderful when someone brings you this baby and you're like, ah, get a baby, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you get to watch them grow and watch like families thrive and watch them go from, you know, a couple of like, oh, I'm exhausted, I have a new baby, to like, we got this whole family cosplay, and it's amazing. And I live for this.
And it sounds like, because you've got so much passion and how you're just going ahead and letting us know all about this, that you genuinely enjoy doing this. This is not a matter of, oh, I got to go to work.
No, that's when I'm packaging 27 million things.
And you're still happy about that.
I am. I love what I do. I love getting to interact with people. I love getting up in the morning and making my mason jar of coffee, my 7 millionth cup of coffee for the day, and going live and visiting with everyone. I love traveling and driving 20 hours through the middle of the night and meeting people in weird little towns across the country. I live for this.
Now, I know you probably get this, I would imagine you probably get this on a regular basis, but a new cosplayer comes to you. What advice do you give them to go ahead and get started?
Get a thick skin.
That's the best. That's the first thing, right?
Thick skin and don't expect money. A lot of people will come into this. I'll see people. I had one woman come up to me. Can you help me get a Catwoman costume so I can make money? That is not how this works at all. Most cosplayers do not make any money. Most cosplayers we will all spend way more on our costumes than what we make.
Oh,
I'm not saying
absolutely.
You can't make a living. You can make a living, but it is not as simple as put on a costume and make money. Like, there is no cosplay union. There is no application online, and the medical benefits only cover prayer.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need, is just to have, you know, as long as you get enough passion and everything in your work, you're enjoying it. It's, you know, sometimes you work harder than you ever have in your entire life, but it's something that you love. Therefore, there's no downside.
But a lot of times people don't know what it means to work in cosplay. Yeah. So if someone comes to me wanting actual like business advice, you still have to run it like a business. You have to pay your taxes. Mm-hmm. If you don't file your taxes, you go to jail.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And people think, you know, oh, I'm just going to dress up and be cute. It's like, no, honey. You're going to do paperwork, and you're going to pay taxes and file taxes, and you're going to, you know, organize shit and order prints and compare prices and do all of these things. And then you're going to be like, oh, this picture did so great online. Let's make 100 copies. And then you're going to not sell any of them and be like, well, fuck, this one over here that didn't do shit online, I sold out. So there's so much to know and learn. And when I started, it wasn't a thing. There was no how to be a pro cosplayer. So I started doing a panel and teaching people.
Now, in making a full circle from where we started out talking about Confessions of a Cosplay Diva, and then to this point here, and this may be the end of the book, I don't know, but I just want to ask this question, is if you could do it all over again, would you?
Yes, absolutely. I would have done a few things differently. When I started, this wasn't a thing. So I partied a little more than I should have. I behaved in ways that I probably shouldn't have. So if I had known then what I know now, I would have done it differently, and I think I would have done it better.
And that's a good way to look at it, because as long as you're improving yourself, it's always, you know, you're never going to be complacent with where you are. And I see that a lot with everything you do. You've always got to be, you always find some kind of thing in there that's just, not that it's wrong, but it's a little bit incorrect, that you could do better next time or whatever. And the rest of us are over here looking, going, wow, that was the best cosplay I've ever seen that you do. And you're over there going, eh.
Like today, if I had remembered that I had this interview, I would have put on some makeup. But I had to take my dog to the emergency vet, and I still have a broken nose and stitches in my face from my accident last week. And so I apologize. Like, I should have put on makeup. I should have done all that, but I've just been so crazy bogged down. And I can't afford a manager yet with all of an assistant that has like a list of everything. Cara, I need to get up right now. Here's your coffee, and we're gonna go over here and you put on your makeup, and
Exactly. The application's in the mail, by
I
the way.
need a mom.
Now, we've had you on here it's been right at an hour on here. So we're going to go ahead and ask you to go ahead and show some more of the books again so they can see that for Confessions of a Cosplay Diva. The coffee's starting to
Yes.
wear off over on this side. Let me give you full screen.
All right. Well, here's some more coffee for you, Phil. Steph Wilson's here. Hi, Steph. Okay, so. Okay. I do not have Jinkies. That one I did not get printed yet, but it is Velma. So let me show you this one. I have Cat's Meow. This is a black cat cover in full holofoil. And I have, let me find a place to set that down. This one is The Great Outdoors. It is a virgin cover, which means that there's no writing on it. You notice there's no names, there's no title, there's no logo. That's what a virgin cover is, so you know when you are going to get one. And this is printed on linen, which is similar to canvas. So it's like having a canvas painting. This one is called Rebel Scum, and this is Slave Leia. And then we've got Painted Lady. This one's fun because see, I can do that. See, it's a me. Ha 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 ha. And it is a photograph with a little bit of a paint over. There we go, right there. See? Oh my God, that's so creepy. But there we go. That one's called Painted Lady. There's a discount on this one until tomorrow at midnight. There's also a $51 discount on the VIP tier level as well. This one is called, I don't remember.
Seductive.
Seductive. Yes, I knew it was seduct something. Seductive. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. This one's called Seductive. This is my Power Girl lingerie. This one is called Twice Shy because I've got two skulls, right? That actually hurts to wink like that. But this is a spot foil, so it's holofoil in certain areas. And that is Vampirella. I've got Monochrome, which is Domino. Shot out on the Mogollon Rim. I've got my Phil, help me out here.
That one. I'm trying to think of that one. I can't remember the name.
Wonder. It was this is my Jeweled Wonder. That's what it is.
There you go.
It's been a very, very long day. So this is called Jeweled Wonder, and it is covered in Swarovski crystals by Master Jeweler Shannon Galarnow. It is also on full rainbow holofoil. And this Jinkies I do not have, but it's Velma. And that one's available as well. And this one, last but not least, is Burnin' For You. This is my topless stacker Fire Bitch cosplay. So there you go. And then this is Fire Bitch, so you know where Fire Bitch came from. So there you go.
And just so everyone knows, before I start getting the questions on my end, because I know I will, yes, I did back it. I was backer number 1.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I timed it just right because you were still talking, and I went over to the page, and I just kept refreshing, and all of a sudden it came straight up, and I was like, nobody's on here yet? I'm on this. So, yes. I got the Black Cat is the one that I chose.
Right on.
I just want to say that Cara and I have actually become friends in going through all this and everything, and I consider her more of a sister, so I cannot get the other covers that are very risque and whatnot because it just feels weird. So I'm just putting that out there. That's why I don't get all of the other covers like that. So
I appreciate that.
I definitely,
I appreciate
enjoy.
Your support.
Oh, absolutely. But I had to get Black Cat. That was a have to. But yeah, I mean, the whole entire campaign is amazing. There's a lot of things that are available on there. I believe you still have the VIPs, and you have the producers as well still
I do.
available.
I have 2 producer packages left. Now, here's the cool thing about being a producer. When you are a producer, you are actually credited in the book as a producer, which means now you can apply for a pro badge at San Diego Comic-Con and other conventions as well. And that's a free badge.
Nice. See, I didn't even contemplate on that being in there. I thought it was just you get all the different covers and all the fun stuff.
Well, you do, but you also get some unique things. You also get special books that are just unique to you, and you do get because you are essentially a creator on the book at that point.
Absolutely. And I know you've already gone through 6 stretch goals, I believe now, 5 or 6, something like that.
Honestly, I've been shipping Fire Bitch, so I have no idea. I think so. It's quite a bit. We funded in 1 minute.
Yes. Yeah,
We
fully
also
funded
funded
in
the
less than a
last
minute.
campaign in 1 minute, and we funded the campaign before that in 6 minutes.
Exactly. And you hit $10,000 before midnight last night, so you were
Yes,
rolling on that.
we did. Absolutely. Yeah. And we hit 15 in a 24-hour period.
So if you are not on this campaign here, you definitely need to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up here right now because I actually have it. So, and it is in the video. So on the comments over there and everything, it's over there. So you can go directly to it. Just click on that link, go over there to it. I have said this on every single one of my shows. I'm going to say it again on this one. Support means many different things. It doesn't mean just financial. So if you cannot financially support, we're not going to hunt you down or anything. Cara has promised me she's not going to do it this time. So, yeah, I know it took away her fun. But if you will just use that finger, the correct one, of course, and hit that share button, that way you can at least go ahead and help out to go ahead and get this out to even more people, let them know it's out there, and so we get even more people involved. So we can get that, I believe it's $40,000 stretch goal thing. 45.
It's an
45,000.
expansion.
Yes.
So that's an expansion goal. And an expansion goal, there's 2 different things. A stretch goal is something that everybody that pledges for a physical reward gets no matter what. An expansion goal is a book or an option that opens up that you will be allowed to purchase.
Absolutely. Now, last thing is, I'm going to go ahead and ask what's in your future that's coming up, because I know a couple of things that you've kind of hinted towards. I know you can't give away a lot of information, so whatever you can give, by all means, go right ahead.
So I've got some cosplays for some of my good friends who are creators as well. We've got the kind of a new class of creators coming out. If you follow Kickstarter, you see there's, like a new group of up and comers. And so I've got some cosplays for other creators as well. Currently, we've got Vampires of New Jersey that is out in crowdfunding. It's in Kickstarter, and I've got a cover and some stretch goals and some prints, some different things like that in there. So definitely check out Vampires of New Jersey. And I've got some other covers with other creators coming up. I do that regularly. I actually have more covers than any cosplayer ever. And I've got some other costumes coming up. I'm trying to think I have so many things. Now, because of the COVID situation, we can't have conventions because it's too many people in a space. So I'm looking into doing a small tour from Arizona up through Wyoming, Colorado, and possibly New Mexico. So I'm hoping I can get a small tour in, maybe do some store signings, give people, you can't have the full convention experience, but you can come in and we can chit chat and, catch up and maybe, wave behind our masks and be in a smaller environment, provided the areas open up for those types of things. So that is a possible option to keep our social distancing going and in a safe and healthy way, while still allowing people to get out and and get some of their Comic-Con action going on.
Yeah, Russell put on here, we need a hazard suit Comic-Con.
Yes, we'll all be Walter White.
There are two ways that costume could go. So yeah, there's
Underpants and hazmat suits.
exactly. Now, I know you've got plenty of projects that are coming up and everything, and you've always got things that are coming up. So everyone needs to just pay attention. You put things on your wall all the time. It goes on the AZ Power Girl. Alfred puts stuff up on his. Of course, you have your what's it called with your where to find you all. See, now my coffee's starting to wear off.
My landing page. Yes, I
yes.
have a landing page that has all my stuff. You can also download some wallpapers from there. I've got my crowdfunding Kickstarter video up there right now. So it's got all of my social media, my YouTube, all those kinds of things. I do try to go live on Facebook just because I want to keep in touch with everyone and see how you're all doing. I do have, after Confessions of a Cosplay Diva, I have Fire Bitch number 2 coming out. I will have a calendar at the end of the year. And then I also have next year coming out Unstable Frequencies, which is a comic book compilation of horror stories.
Absolutely. So like she's saying, she's incredibly busy. So just stay up on the media. You'll see what all she's getting into, and definitely go ahead and back everything that's on there. This is not, I just going to go ahead and say real quick, Cara is not one of these that actually does this and just wants her money, her money, her money. She actually returns the favor. She actually goes and she helps out financially on some people, and then definitely she shares everybody's stuff. So, if you have the time and you can get over there and you can take a look at it and share at least, or financially, help her out or whatever, trust me, she is returning the favor in kind all over the place all the time anyway, because she's just all over this as well, because it's indies helping indies. So that's what this whole thing is all about. So you definitely need to go ahead and just keep up with what she's doing, follow her, make sure everything, is in place that you need to go ahead and schedule it out, do a budget, whatever you got to do, but stick with her.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So
Con Pantsless Edition. Russell, you are just on it today.
When is he ever not? And I will go ahead and say, shameless plug right now, Russell is my guest tomorrow night. So there is no telling what's going to happen on that show. That may be my last show. I don't know. We don't know yet. It's going to be fun going out, though. Going out in a blaze of glory. That's for certain. Cara, it has been an honor and a pleasure having you on here yet again. And I look forward to having you on here even more. And I know we probably will. If you want to go ahead and give us last audible shout out on where we can find you, so we can go ahead and let you go afterwards on that and let you get back to your shipping and all that fun stuff you got to do.
You can find me as AZ Power Girl everywhere. Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and my website, azpowergirl.com, which if anyone is a website person, come here, see me, hook up my website. It needs to be updated. I am the co-owner of 183 Degree Studio and 183 Degree Publishing, with our line of books, Cara Nicole Presents. So definitely find me everywhere. Phil knows how to get a hold of me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, thank you very much for being here, and looking forward to having you on as a guest here at, whenever you're ready again, just let me know and we'll get you scheduled in.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you.
All right. And keep going, keep hitting it hard on the campaign. I know you're not planning on stopping. If I know anything about you, it's that whenever that powder keg goes off, it doesn't stop anytime soon.
Can't stop, won't stop.
All right. You have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
All right. We had Cara Nicole up here. We had an amazing time. We had a lot of fun. We got to learn a lot about cosplay and a lot about the do's and don'ts that are kind of involved in there as well. Get her book. I haven't even had a chance to read it yet, but knowing that I've actually done some cosplay as well, there's going to be some stuff in there, I'm sure, that's going to shed a light on some things that a lot of people don't really think about whenever they are in a convention. So it's definitely something that you want to get involved in there. Plus, Cara is the greatest person in the world, so she has an amazing book. Just get on it. I mean, it's very simple. It's not rocket surgery on that one. But I always have a closing statement on this. Tonight's no different. And as everybody knows, I never script anything. You didn't see me writing anything while I was here. I just go based on what's happening within the interview. And this one is based on the fact that if you're going to go ahead and go into something, go into it with positive, the right energy in doing things. I know I've said about energy before, but she kind of touched on the fact that if you're going to do something, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Don't go into it with the wrong intentions. Uh, the whole bullying because you were bullied, or treat others, because you were treated that way. Treat others as you would want to be treated, and that may actually be a better statement to go with on that. So just go into it as you're going to go ahead and give some positive, you'll get some positive back. I mean, karma definitely works. Trust me, it always happens. So the best thing I can go ahead and say on this one is just don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Or start something the right way, maybe a lot of good right way. That's my closing statement for tonight. So Demonfield Comics in War, New Jersey. Keep it indie, y'all.